Dusty Futon podcast is a product of the Dusty Futon LLC and Dusty Futon Productions. Go to dustyfuton.com for more information. Welcome back to another Producer's Corner episode of the Dusty Futon, where we like to feature producers, hip-hop artists, and lyricists from the Southern California area in order to help get the word out about what is a producer on all levels. If you like what we do here on the Dusty Futon, please consider subscribing to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, and any other place you find your podcast. And please give us a comment to let us know how we're doing and how we can better serve you in the Southern California music scene. And this episode is brought to you by Backstage360.com, the musician's media. The Dusty Futon is a musician's podcast bringing you the raw musician and what they bring to the table. Backstage360.com works hard to bring you even more with creative write-ups, professional interviews, and stunning photography. Backstage360.com also assists with the promotion of events, products, tours, new music, and they provide an overall insider's peek into the impedimenta of the backstage. Backstage360.com. They truly are the musician's media. This episode of the Producer's Corners features a producer named Chelsea Scott out of Second Story Studio. Now, we could not stop talking. Seriously, before we actually recorded the episode, we had 2 hours of audio that was recorded, and I had not made it through yet to find some good pieces and good chunks. However, much of that will be available on our Patreon page to our Patreon supporters. Make sure and check that out at patreon.com/thedustyfuton if you want that behind the scenes privilege and access. But what I did manage to do is the following hour and a half, edit it down to some really good key components that we talked about. Everything from how awesome his hair is, as he is the new Dave Grohl playing for the Faux Fighters, a Faux Fighters tribute band, to cognitive psychology and Alien Con. It's pretty crazy, all the different levels of conversation we go to and how it relates to the music and the music industry. We do talk about one of the artists that he produced, whose name is Gallie, and you get to hear one of the tracks produced right here from the Second Story Studio by an artist on Dirty Disciples' label, Noise Cartel Records. I've talked it up enough, but go ahead and take a listen to Chelsea Scott in this episode of the Producer's Corner.
You put everything in your Palm Pilot. The real good one.
Did you just say Palm Pilot?
On your whatever it's called.
iPhone, smartphone.
Yeah, you're right, but
just say mobile device.
Mobile device.
That works.
Yeah, your handheld device.
What's a Palm Pilot?
I know.
Shut up, you fucking millennial.
All right, we're getting into it here.
Sweet. Finally.
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the Dusty Futon. My name is Dirty Disciple. I am here with Big John.
What's up?
He had a long night by the sounds of that shit.
I had a great night and a great morning, if that tells you anything.
And we have a very special guest joining us today. He's a longtime industry expert. He's a professional musician. He's a engineer, producer.
He's blushing right now.
He's Dave Grohl's stunt double. He's he's a male hair model of the year.
You should have fallen off the stage, not Dave Grohl.
He's an advocate for Taco Tuesday, and he's the creator of Wiener Wednesday.
Woo! Wiener Wednesday.
We got Chelsea Scott.
Hey, how you guys doing?
And we're actually in his studio.
Yeah.
His
Actually,
Second Story Studio in Escondido, California.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, rocking out. God, that's a lot of that's a lot of things. I didn't even know I did all those things.
That was about 3.5 minutes worth of accolades.
Talking you up.
Yeah, really talking me up. Dang, man, that was great.
Well, you know, honestly, that's something that doesn't happen enough because we're in an age where everybody has to basically self-promote, and anybody who's worth their salt does not act like Kanye West and actually kind of just does their thing. So
Sure.
you really need an advocate in this industry to give you that pep talk, to introduce you that way.
Yeah, that's I got to learn all your accolades now, man, because I might have to do the same thing
Well,
sometimes.
that's Dirty Disciple, owner and
Dirty
creator
Disciple
of
and
Noise Cartel Records, and teams up quite often with, what is it, what is your name?
Second Story
Second
Studios.
Story Studios.
Studios.
Yeah.
Does that have anything to do with your location?
Yeah. I got stuck.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I've been here for 18 years, going on 19 years, and it all started back in the day with just a desk and a simple little computer, literally like a real wooden desk, and that was it.
And by it, you mean what?
The studio.
This studio?
Yeah, this studio. I had 3 microphones. I had an SM58 and 257s.
God, you sound
cables.
like 3 years ago when we started the Futon. That's exactly what we had set
Look,
up.
you're sitting on a futon.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that great? No, we had a little Focusrite, two and two out. 2 and 1. Yeah, and that's an iMac that I bought on credit before I got out of the Navy. So that was the best thing I had, was the iMac was like my entire mixing console and everything.
I had a little Mackie mixer, which actually is sitting right back here.
Ooh,
that is over 25 years old.
Is that the bigger one? The 24? Is that a 24?
No, that's just a 1604
Okay.
Mackie 1604, which we don't even use anymore. It's just. I think it's
decoration.
It's decoration. It's going to get pulled out of there pretty soon. I'm gonna have to fill that bay up with a bunch of gear now. So, but
darn, that's gonna suck.
The new Neve mic pre's are going in there. So
Neve mic pre's.
I've been building a bunch of mic pre's.
What?
So, yeah, bit of electronics guy on the
What?
side. Yeah, I love gear. So you got to have those really nice, warm sounding, old school mic pre's that everybody wants. Do you have any Neves? It's like, yeah, I think I've got something close to that,
If anybody asked me that, I said, yeah, I got 2 of them, but they're both bad. My Neves. I'll add that in post.
Wow,
I promise.
wow.
Yeah, that's a better one. That's the real one for me.
So it all started 19 years ago right here in downtown Escondido on Grand Avenue. And it's interesting because I've been here so long, I've seen so many different artisans come in and out of this facility, but we have quite a few. I'm going to do a couple plugs really quick. We have Don Vetta, who is a great up-and-coming artist, and you guys should really hear him and see him. I'd say he needs to come on the show.
Okay.
He's a great guy and just a fantastic guitar player, man. He's an up-and-coming artist, and I'll turn you on to him. We have... let's see. We have a production suite downstairs. And we have a new guitar facility also downstairs. It's just opening up. They sell guitars.
No shit.
Yeah, man. So this is becoming the mecca. Next door to me, I have Bob, and I can't think of Bob's last name. He's going to hate me for this, but Bob plays in Fu Manchu. He's a guitar player, but he also teaches. So you can get your guitar lessons right next door. I've taken lessons from him. He's an awesome guitar player, man.
Now, is Fu Manchu another Foo Fighters?
No.
Okay.
They're not. Yeah, no affiliation. Fu Manchu is an original project some years in the making. And they are what's called stoner rock. They're really cool, man. They go on tour and shit, man.
I think I need to
They're
talk
badass.
to them, bro.
Yeah.
They sound like the kind of band to be in the Futon.
Yeah, exactly. They're really cool people. So, but not to have anything to do with the Foo Fighters. So, what I do is I'm in a tribute band to the Foo Fighters called the Faux Fighters, and you can find me at FooFightersTributeBand.com. I'm plugging myself, right?
Hey, do it.
What about Facebooks and stuff?
Oh yeah, Facebook Faux Fighters. You can find us on Facebook.
FAUX.
FAUX, and everybody says you're the Fox Fighter guy. Yeah, I am.
Sure, learn your English, dickwad.
Well, that's French.
Well, actually,
Learn your French.
Actually, now it's adopted into the English language,
exactly,
so
yeah.
it is an official English word.
yeah.
Dude, you don't want to mess with English and with me. I tell you, I'm like, oh God, I can't even think of the word right now. That's pretty embarrassing. Like, I'm really good with English. There we go again. No, I'm very semantic and literal, so I know. I break down words a lot to kind of figure out what their origins are, because almost every word has a base word. Every bigger word that's usually more than 5 letters long has a base word that it's either similar to or derived from. And if you know that, then you can easily figure it out contextually and kind of come up with that. And my dorkiness,
we just lost about like half the audience right there.
That's why I'm getting away from hosting.
So look at us now.
Okay, all right, let's get our audience back.
Yeah,
Don't go away.
we'll be
So
right.
one reason why I like working with Chelsea actually is because his hair is really awesome.
I knew it was something.
Do you use Pert?
Pantene.
What's Pert? Pantene, man.
No, you remember it's a green bottle.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
You
they
know
sell
bullshit.
at the 99-cent store now.
Yeah, we used that in the Navy. That was what we used to clean the showers with, was Pert. Like, we'd have giant bottles of Pert and spraying it all over the place and scrubbing with toilet
No, I
brush.
use
Is that
Suave.
why you don't have any hair? Because it made you use it?
Yeah, I washed it all out. No, I dyed my hair clear. You can't see it. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a good color.
My roots are coming in. Can you see them?
A little bit.
That's fucking funny. Everyone's dyeing their hair a fucking unicorn or some shit right now, or a mermaid,
what the
or whatever
fuck
it is.
is that all about?
There's always some fucking
I want my
retarded
hair color to be rainbow.
trend. That's not a
go
color.
ahead.
They're like,
that's a
excuse me, it's
scheme."
called unicorn. It's like, oh,
What
sorry.
is the deal with all this?
You want me to
hair?
super glue a horn on your head too?
What is going on with our world, man?
Horses aren't good enough. Fucking zebras aren't good enough.
Well, no,
Donkeys aren't good enough.
Zebras are horrible because they're black and white. They're binary. They're just horrible.
That's why they stay in Africa.
Like, why can't we just be who we are? Why do we have to fit in a?
Well, that's the Comic-Con revolution. You know, the Comic-Con way of life. It was kind of funny because I went to Alien Con. I'm going to tell you that right now. I went to Alien Con over the weekend. And there, Alien Con is actually, a lot of really intelligent people that actually show up that are, PhDs. They're, I met a guy who was a triple PhD. It's like, I'm a PhD in astrophysics, physics, and something else.
Something else that I never took in school.
I know. And I was like, most people go, but there's a small percentage of people that actually came dressed up like, Mork from Ork, or from they dressed up like Star Trek, or and it's just like,
It's interesting.
I just felt like walking up to them. Are you guys here for Comic-Con? Because Comic-Con's like in about 2 months.
Yeah.
It was like they didn't understand. They think that it's this thing that like Comic-Con, and it's not. It's a bunch of people getting together and discussing real events.
Yeah, the con means convention.
Convention doesn't mean
It doesn't mean
Convict.
con or joke or
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't mean that. It's not comma joke.
Exactly.
It's comma
alien joke.
convention.
Exactly. So it was kind of interesting, and I think that's what we're dealing with these days. Is we have a society of people that, they're stuck in this Comic-Con mentality that they have to
the
stick out.
cognitive psychologists use the term separateness. And here comes my nerdiness.
Go ahead.
And please stay with us, guys. Please. Okay, this is going to be short. I promise. But it's basically separateness, and in the cognitive psychology, we all have these issues as human beings that the insecurities a lot of the times, fears and whatnot, and the biggest problem with those insecurities and fears is our lack of understanding as human beings that everybody feels that way. Everybody has that question. Everybody wonders if wiping front to back, which one's the right way to wipe your butt. Do you go underneath the balls or do you go behind the butt? There's only 2 ways to do it, but you never know which one's the right way. It's whatever your way is.
Not if you're a girl.
Yeah, you always go. You always go front
wipe.
to back. Yeah.
Yep, front to back. Get it out of there.
See, it's a guy problem, right? Do you want your balls to? Never mind. Anyway, I'm not going to get too in depth with that. But it's just that simple concept that everybody has the same problems. Everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time, unless you're an acrobat. And everybody has to make the decision. Which way do you put your socks on first, or on both? You put your socks on both feet.
I always
and then
put my
shoes?
I put my socks on first, then my pants.
I don't know where I'm going.
Then I slide my feet into my shoes,
Anyone more slippers?
and I never tie them. Oh, I love slippers.
Yeah,
fuck yeah, slippers all day long, man. If I could. One
They don't
time,
make them
I
in my
actually,
size.
when I had an actual real office job, I kid you not, I showed up totally dressed and in my fucking slippers. I went into the office and I sat at my desk in my office the entire day, and hope to God I didn't have to leave the office that day to go get anything or do anything, and I had my slippers on the entire time.
Fun.
Oh my God, I was like, I forgot my dress shoes. I was supposed to be wearing dress shoes. And luckily, I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to do anything. I sat at my desk the entire time, and nobody noticed.
That's awesome.
But I was comfortable as hell. I was like, maybe I'll just do this all, every day.
But you know what? For all those nerdy people who stuck around through that, or non-nerdy people that stuck around, right here. I got a tip.
Tune in Tokyo. What?
Don't be confused by the nerds, all right? Because check this out. You know what cosplayers are? Hot. Those are the hot-ass nerds you would never have known were hot.
Yep.
Yeah, there are some. I will have to agree with you. I've seen a few of them.
Like furries?
I would say about more than half of them are chubby chicks. I'm just saying it. I'm just putting it out there.
They don't work out. So not necessarily like fat. They just have like that looser skin.
Well, no, they're just chubby chicks, man. They got big cans and
curvy or chubby.
Some of them are curvy and some of them are chubby, but I guarantee you could. You know
what would be fun to go to is a furry convention.
They call themselves the big girls now.
You know what furries are?
I don't have anything against big girls. I like girls with a little meat on their bones. I actually
like big butts, and I cannot lie.
Yeah, man. But
do you know what furries are?
No, what?
They're the people that wear animal costumes and go to conventions about like animals and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of times it turns sexual, and they do it with their costumes on.
Yeah. I've heard about that.
Really weird shit.
What's up with that?
I don't know. Probably daddy issues.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Some sort of
raised in the wild and
nurturing issues or something.
Yeah, the lioness was the only one to raise them. The lion was gone, so got to pretend to be a lion.
Lion. Too many Disney movies. Yeah. Lion King.
It's the circle of life, baby.
It's these documentaries they got on TV all the time. Yeah. Every documentary, there's animals fucking. Yeah. Every documentary, they're like,
yeah.
Did you see that? There was that.
Crikey, have a look at the butterfly.
I think it was it a Geico commercial where the girls.
Did you just say crikey?
They did.
Have a look at what we have here.
Just so you know, Matt's from Australia. He actually has that real accent. He suppresses it.
Is that why you always shake and anxiety-ridden? Suppressing that accent?
I've always been shaky.
At least you're not flaky.
That's true. He's not. He's never been flaky. I have to say that. Most people in California flaky. Matt is never flaky. He says he's gonna do something, he does it.
That's true. Yeah. That is true. So far, it's been that way.
Yeah.
And I would tell you if I'm gonna flake.
I was just thinking though. You shake a lot. I bake a lot. So we should be shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
And I don't like bake.
And I fake a lot.
I don't shake and bake. and I helped.
Oh gosh. Where's this all going? So
I don't know.
I guess we got to get back on track.
This is the bad thing about musicians and producers and shit, like fucking like.
Well, we were talking for an hour and a half before we even.
Oh yeah, well we had, you know what it was? That was breaking the ice.
Yeah.
You have to do that. You have to break the ice a little bit and kind of, feel.
You have to break the ice and put it in a glass and pour some scotch over it.
Ooh.
That sounds. You got to do that?
I can pour you guys a stiff drink if you guys want.
As long as it's only a stiff drink.
Not a stiffy.
No, I'm not into stiff wood. I like stiff drinks.
Have a stiffy.
Prefer mine shaken, not stirred.
Our studio sessions take a fucking long time when Chelsea and I get together.
They have, man. We'll be in here joking around. We'll have somebody.
And you charge by the hour, too. That's what sucks.
Well, they get therapy out of it. It's honestly, it's therapy.
Yeah.
They come in here and their whole life changes, and they walk out and they're like, man, I want to come back again. I want to do this again. All right, cool.
When you open the door, does the cloud of smoke venture out with
sometimes?
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes. I've had those guys in here. A lot of rap artists do that. I don't know. Yeah. More than anybody else. Yeah, they all
cigars?
smoke. Yeah, they all smoke. I have no idea why. That's like a prerequisite, I think. You have to be hip and know.
And always have you always have to have an ounce or more on you.
Yeah.
And you have to have a few $100s in cash.
Or at least.
At least a few
and
hundred.
some really great gold chains.
Yeah, big ones.
Yeah.
At least they stop wearing the giant clocks.
Yeah, well.
Now that he passed away.
No, he's still alive.
What?
Yeah, he's
Flavor
still alive.
Flav is still alive?
Actually, what's funny is that we're actually doing a show, and he's going to be there. We're doing a show up in Hollywood.
I swear to God, I heard he died last year.
No, August 24th and August 25th.
Oh, that was just his career. I'm sorry.
Oh. No, he's actually cool. He's gonna be spinning. He's a DJ now. He's gonna be spinning records.
He actually.
He's always been a
He's
DJ.
funny as hell. Like,
He's a great guy.
This is I love musicians, artists, or whatnot. And when they get made fun of, they take it and just run with it, because that's when you know you can't beat them.
Well, exactly.
Once you if you own your mistakes and your mess ups and the things about
and
you
you
that
joke
are unique,
about it.
you won.
Exactly.
You win in life.
Exactly. So tonight we're all going to be talking about our mistakes, so that when people joke about us,
That's
win.
That's a good idea, because we don't have any music to play, because you pretty much do a lot of production work, and when you're performing the Faux Fighters.
Somebody else's music, the Foo Fighters, Fighters music.
I'm too cheap to get the rights and to pay for shit.
That's okay.
We're not playing any Faux Fighters performances yet.
No, that's okay.
Can you give us a live original acoustic?
Sure, we could do something.
Ooh,
we could do that.
Yeah, you're classically trained, aren't you?
A little bit, but just
'Cause
around the edges.
I saw you.
But are you musically trained?
So you're saying you're soft around the edges, not hard?
I gravitate to a lot of different types of music. So I've studied classical, on Andres Segovia, and
Nobody listening knows what the fuck that was.
That's one of the best classical guitar players ever that lived.
And if you do know what that is, and I just insulted you, you can email me at bigjohn@bigjohnentertainment.com. Please go ahead. I'm bored. I want emails telling me to F off, because that's how I know you're listening.
Don't email me, please. I can't handle the thought of having hate mail. I've become more emotional these days.
That right there is going to get you hate mail.
Well, that's the point. That's the only way.
That's why I'm saying it.
That's how you get people to listen. You got to be a viral sensation somehow. And nowadays, it's either you say something trivial that is offensive, and so you get people on board with you, but then
you get a bunch of people that hate you.
Yeah. No matter what side you go on, you split yourself.
I'm just going to put this out there to everybody so they know. Listen, you guys, everything you see on the internet and here, including this is all fake.
Yes.
It's all made up. It's just for fun. Okay,
Yeah.
So don't believe it.
This is the entertainment
Fucking
industry.
lie. You're in the matrix. Whenever you open up and type google.com or anything, you're in the matrix.
Yeah.
And now your life is owned by others.
Owned.
But you should, what?
Owned.
Coming from a label perspective or giving some advice out there for artists and stuff, haters are a good thing. Like, if you have people hating on you, be happy about it and be grateful, because they're not your target market.
No, but
So
they're
you
vocal
know-
enough to help you get unknown.
We even have haters. We have faux fighter haters.
What,
It's great.
Because you're making fun of, because you're covering, you're not as good, or you're not Dave Grohl. Stop.
No,
trying to be him.
actually, there's other Foo Fighter tribute bands out there that hate us.
Oh my God! You know what? Okay. I have to do this. I have to say this real quick, because I do know a lot of tribute artists, and most of them, like you, are just like high spirited about what they do and just love what they do.
We do it for fun, man.
But I have a few friends on Facebook that are musicians, and they have a specific look, they have a specific style, and all I hear them do is bitch about the other bands and not being able to perform and not being able to do this. It's like, dude, okay. For instance, Foo Fighters has about 15 cover bands here in San Diego, maybe 10 or 15, right? And every single one of them is playing the same songs.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
You're trying to look and imitate one of your favorite artists.
Yeah.
So if somebody else happens to think that you look more like Dave Grohl than the other guy, and they want to go to you, then you know what? Fuck them. They're coming to see you, And that goes along with the haters thing. You're gonna have haters.
Yeah, it happens. That's just that's when you know you're doing something right.
Exactly.
Yep. The bigger you get, the more you're going to get cut down at the knees by people. So
I actually have a couple questions. I don't think I've ever asked you this, but tell me about your how did you get where you actually are today? I have never even asked you that. Yeah, I know you're part owner of Noise Cartel Records, but man, I don't know anything about like where did it all start?
You know what's interesting? I don't even know. And our listeners
This might be
don't
for
even
another
know.
To make it short and to the point. I was actually born into the industry. My whole family are professional musicians and artists. So I've been in the scene since I was a little baby.
Ooh.
And I was going out on gigs since I was 5 years old.
And you're doing that with your kid right now.
I am.
Yeah.
Both my kids. One's in Australia, one's over here, you know.
Nice.
They're going to end up being, the labels based in both countries. You see what I'm doing there?
Yeah, there you go. Cross country.
He's globally, we're going to own the industry.
Globalism.
No, not on the industry. I'm not out for that. We're just trying to bring decency and respect back into the industry.
And about creating an alternative path.
But that alternative path.
Yeah. Well, okay, because there's right now, I'm going to jump onto my soapbox. Right now, there's in the eyes of most artists, there's only two paths to exposure, either radio or performance. Right? There needs to be more options, more paths, and more ways for them to receive the information. You know, because right now there's no advocate for young artists. Really, there isn't, unless you want to pay for something. And I don't mean schooling, I don't mean training, I don't mean recording your music. I mean, there's no free resource to go, well, shit, how did they do that? You know, how did they do that? How did this guy do that? You know, or what about this musician? What did they do? You know, and you always hear it from the same people, or you get it from bloggers who aren't even artists, who just sit and listen to music. You don't actually hear from the musicians themselves because they can't afford to do this shit.
You know what though? That's what people think. But I'm proving you wrong, and I'm gonna say that we've charted 4 number ones for no money spent.
How about that industry?
Boom.
Bam.
But it takes work.
Hold on.
He dropped the mic.
Whoa, mic drop on that one.
Yeah, but
bam, out of here.
Hold on. There we go.
Cricket.
Sound effect in there, like
Boom.
No producer drops a mic. Seriously.
Yeah, I know, right?
Someone dropped my mic. Fucking that guy's gonna be running fast.
That happens. Mic drops happen.
Karaoke is where it happens a lot. I funded a karaoke operation once.
Karaoke.
Yeah, that's when people think that they're the shit, and so if they're singing a song that in any pop culture reference has a mic drop at the end of it, they do. And most of these karaoke guys have wireless microphones.
Yeah, they get jacked up.
So it's like I said, I financed a business to get them started, and the guy, I watched him cringe every time, you know, and he paid me back for the stuff. But even though, because I bought it for him, looking at him like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Don't drop a microphone.
Yeah, it happens. Karaoke, man. Karaoke people are. They're brutal.
Yeah.
I have
drunk.
And they're not musicians.
No.
That's somewhat true, but I do have a buddy. I have to tell you guys a story. It's a great story. So I have a buddy of mine. His name's Dave Macucci. Yeah, try spelling that one.
Makuchi.
He's Italian, so it's Mucc.
Yeah,
but anyways, Dave is like probably the best karaoke show ever. He's actually a super talented guitar player. But the amazing thing is that he goes to a karaoke place and he will blow the place up because he sings Led Zeppelin songs, and he puts on a show, and before the end of the night, and he's had a few drinks, and he's at the karaoke. I've seen him do this many times, and the whole place comes unglued. Usually girls. and girls will just be like, "Oh my god," because he does this hip thrusting thing while he's singing.
Oh my
and
god!
oh yeah,
He pulls the
is,
Elvis.
Oh yeah, but it's
Elvis pelvis.
Yeah, but dude, but it's classic.
Nice.
If you've ever seen it, I will tell you guys where he's going to be at next time for a karaoke show. It is out of this world. It is the most.
Now, does he run karaoke or
no? He doesn't.
He just shows up at events.
He just shows up and just lays it out there, man.
Nice. Lays it out there.
Yeah, lays it out there.
Is he single?
He's got a wife and kids and everything.
Oh, poor guy. I mean, congratulations.
Maybe he should go by way of the what was that movie where the guys had he went through the checkpoint and they had one of those handheld security things that goes off, and it was around his crotch, and then he pulls out a cucumber that's actually has tinfoil all around it. What was that? It was a Rob Reiner movie, and I can't think of the name.
Oh my god! Like I am completely lost.
Yeah, it was a movie, Rob Reiner movie.
I remember reading a story about a guy who went to a club with a kielbasa sausage tied around his leg, and it was tied so tight that it actually cut off blood flow, and he almost lost his leg.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because it was like it all just to look like he had a freaking 12-inch dong. It's like, okay, that's smart. Yeah. Darwin Award runner-up because he still survived.
He gets the applaud for that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll put some background.
Yeah,
there.
background. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're gonna have so much editing to do.
Oh, I know.
You have no idea.
This one's gonna be the one that you're gonna be cringing the whole time.
Well, and I've still got the other hour of audio to look through, just in case there's clips I want to throw in there. Most of that's getting deleted, though.
Yeah, I would say that needs to go away.
Yeah, that's why it's saved under XXX tension.
Oh shit!
So that guy really died, huh? I have no idea
Yeah.
what he. Maybe we could play a little clip of his stuff.
No, I can't.
Oh, man.
Okay, I could, but I don't want to.
Okay. Was he world famous already, or was he up and coming?
Some people would say he's famous. I'm saying he's like getting big.
Yeah.
But you know what? On that topic, you got to understand that this industry is kind of like that. Like, shit happens and shit goes down, and it's been dirty for a long time. So you support fucking music that isn't real music, and that's the sort of stuff that comes along with it.
Well, and
unfortunately,
and it perpetuates the image that's being created, even if it's fake. Like, one of my favorite hip hop bands is actually not really a hip hop band. They're more like a surf rock, stoner rock mixed with hip hop, and it's the Dirty Heads. You ever heard of them?
No.
Yep.
They're fucking awesome.
I got to check them out now.
Yeah, they're basically a combination of rock, like kind of surf rock and hip hop. They lay down beats, and you got a guy who raps, and then you got a guy who kind of talk raps / kind of sings, and he plays guitar, and they got a full band behind them, and they're amazing because their music and their lyrics are story based. Like, they tell a story.
Oh, cool.
Or they
I love
talk,
music that tells stories.
Yeah, and so
country music.
It's not impossible to do it. It's just easy to cop out and use, action words or button words, hot topic words. It's easy to fall into that realm and just start talking shit, because that's what everybody does right now, and it feeds the. I hate to say this.
We have the shit mentality.
Yeah,
the audience today does. They just it's shit in, shit out.
Yeah, it's regurgitation. It's stuff to make them just forget about life and let their head vibrate around for a few minutes and numb it. That's all it is. It's not entertainment anymore. It's escapement.
And notice how there hasn't been any massive artists for some time.
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's
the biggest artists of all time did big things for people music-wise. Like, they didn't make music that did that. Didn't do shit for them except just like got them lost for the 4 minutes that it was playing or whatever. It made them feel kind of shit because they were having a shit day.
See, that's what rock is. Rock is an expression. It's a metaphoric expression of your stories, and it's a powerful release using the music and the entertainment itself, the entertainment value of it. And that's gone right now mainly because of the industry. The industry doesn't like that because that promotes growth outside of their realm of this little funnel.
Well, they want to control everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been like that for a long time.
Yeah.
They've been trying to control it. I think music from certain periods or generations, like 70s, I'm just going to say 70s music. I love listening to vinyl. I love listening to some of the material back then. It had so much artist expression, although some was very, canny and everything. But there was a lot of it that was just, they were like, let's just roll the tape, see what happens.
And what's great is a lot of that stuff made it on air because you had support from the local area or from the industry itself to push the music out, not just push the product out.
There used to be a lot of independent radio stations, and those have gone bye-bye. They got gobbled up and bought
iHeart.
up. Yeah.
I used to work for them. They own over 800 radio stations. They own 5 here in San Diego. I think 3 or 4 up in L.A.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's like, it's a monopoly, but it's not policed. And so not only do you have the FCC leveling out certain restrictions on what you can play, how often you can play, what you can say, what you can't say, what you can lead to, what you cannot lead in.
I'm glad they can't do it on here.
Yeah, exactly. They can't limit me here. They can't limit what we do here. And that's what, like, to me, this is the new radio. This is where you can tune in to find new music, new artistry, different releases, and that's why I got out of radio, is because it wasn't radio anymore. It was a bureaucratic operation to make money, and basically they only made money from the advertisers and sponsors using numbers that they don't even care about how the numbers show up. They just use the numbers, and they're all from one company. Nielsen Arbitron Ratings. One company controls how much ads are worth because they control the numbers.
Sounds like a monopoly again.
Exactly. So you have multiple monopolies that feed each other, and then
do most of these guys that run these run these companies, do they sit on each other's board? Are they board members? Probably.
I haven't researched in depth, but I'm sure they are. But even if they aren't, you have the higher up employees, the executives of the company that talk.
It's collusion at best.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's colluding. It's colluding for 2 reasons. The first reason is to get as much money out of the advertisers and sponsors that they can.
Sure.
Because that's the only way radio makes money.
Yep.
Is by sponsors and advertisers. And they don't give a fuck about you or the music or the bands because that doesn't make them money. The numbers is what makes the money.
They don't even look at bands. They don't even care about the music. It's all about who's the advertiser.
Who's pushing this song, Oh, this is Sony. Sony gives us this, and this, and they're also paying for this, and this. Yeah. I don't care what it sounds like. Let's put it on the air. I saw that happen.
Yeah, that's
I was
very
a part of that shit, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
I think what we're talking about is true. And part of this, this whole thing of talking about it, I think, brings it to the surface, and it makes everybody aware of it to the point where, like, hey man, this shit's really happening out there. This shit does happen.
Yeah,
it's happening right now, and if we talk about it, we'll expose it.
Yep.
Can't run. Club owners, promoters, you cannot run. We will find you.
And the other thing that I'm really like with this podcast and I'm really strict about is the influence. Because that's the biggest problem.
Wait, hold on. I have to say this one. Talent buyers, we're coming for you.
Ooh, yeah. But see, that the influence that large companies with money have on every startup is the problem. Because
money.
Because you're like, oh, you're going to give me X amount of dollars to promote this and blah, 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 blah. And then you sign a contract and then you try to do your own thing. And they're like, we don't like that being associated with our product. So can you change this, this, and this? And you go, of course, because they're giving you money.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like,
do it all the time.
And because that's the thing is nobody says no to people with money anymore.
Yeah.
Because of the influence that they can provide you for good, but they change your artistic direction.
That's true, and God, I really need a new pair of shoes.
Adidas. What's up, Nike? No, yeah, but see, that's the thing is if they're willing to do that, that's fine.
Yeah.
But the moment they cross and start trying to change the path that we're merging, that we're forging, because they're getting pressure from one of their other sponsors or one of their other people to like,
that's
hey,
what happens.
This Dusty Futon thing you got going on. Can you get them to follow this? Can you get them to do this here?
Well, they did. They did that to Howard Stern. Look what happened to him.
Exactly.
Now nobody hears him.
Yeah.
Unless you have X radio or whatever.
XM, yeah.
XM radio.
I have stock in Sirius And I think, XM and Sirius merged, and my stock's actually going up. It's worth like $5 now. I have like 3/4 of a share because of some, I don't know.
I have a tape player in my car.
That's how you hear Howard Stern.
No,
really? Do you really still?
There was
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah,
It's just a tape
he's got
player.
a tape player, man. I've seen it. I've seen it. It's great.
Cassette's coming
Still
back.
works.
Cassette
Still
is coming
works.
back.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, and no bullshit. People are still making. They're back to making tapes.
Yeah,
Tape sounds great.
One of our
man.
artists, Simani, they put their most recent EP on cassette tape,
Yeah.
and they take it to shows, and they sell them like
It's
crazy.
another medium to use again.
Yep.
You know.
It's selling though.
Yeah, it sells. I
yeah.
I listen to vinyl as much as I can.
Yeah, I think people should, because you get you get the raw waveform basically.
Well, you feel the real waveform.
Yeah.
Yeah, the analog. See here, okay, listeners, I'm gonna blow your minds really quick. You and I and everybody on this planet, we're analog. We are not digital. So guess what?
Is that analogous for something else? Analogous to
So listening to digital recordings or things saved on digital really absolutely makes no sense at all. We should be listening to it on analog. It sounds richer. It sounds nice.
Sound has been around longer than mankind, right?
Yep.
So we've
I don't know, I
evolved
didn't
with
hear it.
sound, right?
Yep.
So then, what resonates more with a person? Real sound,
Yeah.
or some made shit?
Yeah. Well, see, there's so many line
Is it
crossings
Memorex?
there.
Is it real or is it Memorex?
Yeah.
Is it real or is it Memorex?
Yeah. See, but when you get into creating music, like,
I'm gonna post that on. I'm posting that on Facebook.
Don't get me wrong, though. I think, one thing Chelsea can probably give some good insight into is the differences between old school music production and digital music production.
Oh yeah, I've been through both of them.
King Shem talked a lot about that.
Mm-hmm. And the different processing there was, the different techniques there was, and how you can be very creative, and how the industry still today strives to try and achieve the old school techniques in the new school ways.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it happens right here at Second Story Studios every day.
And
But you've got analog stuff behind you still.
I still have analog devices that I utilize from time, because here's the thing. No matter how much you can think you replicate it digitally, the analog stuff has a sound to it all by its, all of its own. So
well, it's not ones and zeros.
Exactly.
It's not black and white.
Yeah.
You run on a 3-dimensional wave pattern scale.
It just has a different sound, and
God, I'm such a nerd.
To
it's
me,
a 3-dimensional waveform.
For me, if I want to, sometimes things start sounding a little too sterile, and I don't like that. So I'll suggest, hey, let's try this, and this, and let's go put you out in the hallway, or let's go put you in the bathroom, or let's do something different with this. And a lot of times we'll play it back, we'll listen to it, go, no, there's the sound we were looking for. There's something different. you know? And that's what really, to me personally, that's what I'm always looking for is, can I make this sound different and not like everybody else's album?
That's engineering.
Right?
Well, yeah.
And that goes for a lot of the producers out there who are getting started or holding themselves back because they don't have $1 million worth of gear and all these fancy
don't need
pieces
it.
of shit stuff.
Take your SM58 and put it in your pants,
A lot of people use those in the studio.
and then just yell at your dick. You know what's funny? Someone's gonna do that, and make a rap album with it, and be like,
That was the Dick Rabbit album in my pants.
"Try and battle me, bro. What's up?
Oh,
Let's battle. Let's pants battle.
pants battle.
Don't cross the streams."
You're never supposed to cross the streams. Is that right?
That's what Bill Murray said.
Well, we all know that as men, never cross the streams.
Nope. Well, I don't like the sword fight to begin with, so you do your thing. Whatever you do in this Second Story Studios.
Second Story Studios and the crossing the streams.
Jesus. I'm out.
There's actually I give some of the male artists I work with who are doing vocals, a tip in the studio if they need a little bit of help with their vocals or delivering, I tell them to sing from the dick.
Drop it.
Sing from the dick.
Sing from the dick.
Yep.
I like that.
You know, it's a fun.
I'm gonna come up to Gabe when I see him sometime. I'm gonna, hey man, you've been singing from the dick. I've noticed it sounds really good, man.
You know what's honestly fun is like.
So what do you do now? You and I both had Megan in the studio. Do we tell Megan? Can you sing from the dick?
No, you sing from the clip.
I really like.
Tell her to sing from the diaphragm.
Yeah.
Which one?
Wait. Do you have the diaphragm in today?
Sing from that one.
I really like what she's done.
Sing from your IED,
especially what she's done here in my studio. We have a few songs that we've been working on. She's fantastic. I think she's going somewhere.
Oh, dude, she knocks out songs like crazy.
Oh yeah.
She's
so
a
if
very
anybody
talented
wants to know,
musician.
probably one of the best performing.
Need a session musician?
Oh yeah.
Bang, done.
Yep.
Next day, like she's quick, delivers good quality stuff.
Gallie's
vocalist.
Her name is Gallie?
Gallie. She calls herself Gallie.
Yep.
And you can find her on Gallie's Alley.
All-around musician. She's a producer.
Producer. Yeah,
but she's a musician.
Singer, musician, piano player, songwriter, composer. She'll do it all. She lyricist. She'll do it all. Cool. Whatever it takes. Great musician. And you know what? And she's fun to work with.
Hard worker.
Yeah, very hard.
I like hard working.
Probably one of the hardest workers I've seen in a long time. Yeah.
One of the hardest working.
How old is she?
Artists on the label for sure.
She's young. She's young.
That's good.
Yeah.
I love the some of the bands that we've had here on the podcast so young, and you just see them working their asses off. They're trying to do it. They're trying to make it. And
sure.
That's what it takes.
It takes a while.
Yeah.
From a producer and engineer's perspective, and studio owner and designer, and you mod a lot of gear, which gives you a unique and creative sound and style. Can you give us a little insight into modding equipment? How it helps you? Why you should or shouldn't?
Ooh.
Like, what do you do when you decide you want to change it up? Like, do you rip it open and start tweaking with wires, or what do you do?
Well, that really depends.
Yeah.
Okay, so depending on the actual amp, or for modding, you could do a number of different things, and I've always been the guy that wanted to try to figure out, why is this working this way, or why does it sound this way, and take things apart. As a matter of fact, I just did a mod on my guitar player's, one of my guitar player's foot pedals. So he has a phase 90, and the switch had broke, so we already had it apart, and I actually turned his phase 90 into a phase 45. And so it's a 45 and a 90, so it has a switch. So basically all we're doing is bypassing a resistor, R29 on the actual board. And so you either turn it off or turn it on.
Electrical engineering stuff.
Yeah, it just it was one of those mods where I read it online, and another buddy of mine that plays guitar, he's like, "Hey, check this out! What I did in my phase 90," and I wanted to try it out. So drill the hole. It was really simple. You put a little tiny switch, and he can just bend down and turn it which way if he wants to use as a 45 or a 90. So it just changes and enhances the sound of it. I haven't even tried it yet. It's actually going to get tried tonight.
So that's an actual a phasing device. So.
It's a phase 90 foot pedal by MXR.
Okay.
And it's the orange one. If all you guitar players out there know what it is, it's the orange one. And
what sound does it normally like? What is that? The kind of echoey phasing?
No. That's flanging modulation. That's a whole different term. These are more devices that actually enhance the tone of your amplifier. So they're some people can refer to them as an actual distortion device, and it creates a little bit more distortion to the amplifier. A little bit more gain, and it just depends what you want to use it for.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a cool device, really cool. So tonight we're gonna do the test on it and see if it works. So hopefully I did it right.
You've got a lot of mic mods that you've done too. With
Oh yeah. So I'm a builder of mics.
Ooh, I should have brought you my Bluebird.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know, but I loaned it to somebody who treated it like crap, and it just doesn't sound right.
All right, I can check it out for you, man.
I got to bring it back in July, though.
Yeah, I'll check it out. It's
sweet.
So I've actually built a few ribbon mics. There's a lot of guys that build mics online, so I just kind of went down that same vein of trying different things out. I built a sub-kick mic. It's over there in the corner collecting dust. Now I have a bunch of guys that actually use it from time to time. We've actually even taken that sub-kick mic out on shows, and we've actually used it to enhance the bottom end to our show. So some shows, and this is kind of a trick. Everybody, you're going to hear a trick. If you want to get a little bit more low end out of your performance, take a sub-kick mic for your drummer and add it to the mix. Have the sound guy just kind of tuck it underneath the mix, and it should enhance what you're doing. And then also there's a
knock at the door.
Knock at the door. We have a knock at the door. Yeah, I'm going to take a little break. 5-minute break.
Okay. And we're back. No.
And now a song from.
This is Gallie's Alley.
So this song is called.
Yeah, we could do a music break right here.
Yeah, this is that girl we were talking about.
Yeah,
right? This is one of the artists on the label. She goes by Gallie. It's a song, an original.
Dude, whoever that is fucking impatient. No,
hang on a minute. I'm almost done.
Yeah, give us a second. What's the song called?
Wait, can I use this one? Acapado.
Oh my god.
What was that? Was in a movie or something? I saw that. It's like
Acapado. Housekeeping.
Yeah.
You want fresh towel? You want hand job?
Fluff your pillow.
Sorry. Yeah, what's the song?
I just remembered. I only just remembered right there.
Look at Dirty over here. He's getting all.
I was trying to remember.
He's like,
What is it called?
All right, we're gonna.
Okay, so the song is called "Dear Monday," and it was recorded here at Second Story Studios by Chelsea, and you did all the mixing and mastering on it.
Oh yeah. Boom. Here we go.
Dear Monday, you know me all too well. Here we go again, shaking hands, making plans. Welcome to hell. Just what I need, a little more monotony. You and your monotony. Dear Monday, what else could go wrong? You and your pal Murphy must have had a good laugh working on that law. You can have my time, but you can't have my soul. Your stupid little games are getting old. You can drag everyone else down, anyone you please, but you can't have me. You can't have me. Dear Monday, time to say goodbye. I would say I'll miss you, but my dear Monday, that would be a lie. That would be a lie. That would be a lie. Keep your misery. Watch me as I leave. You can find some other You can't have me. You can't have me. Dear Monday, you know me all too well. Here we go again, shaking hands, making plans. Welcome to hell.
So that song was Dear Monday by Gallie, and Chelsea
Sweet.
did all the work on that in terms of production.
Yeah, it's just a cute little ditty. I like it a lot. We're still working on that song, and we're going to actually come back in and redo it. There's a few songs that we're going to redo.
I was just about to ask you if you have the rights to that song, and then I remembered. Oh yeah, the guy
that
hosting does.
It's his record label.
It's his label.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
do
no.
we? Hey, Dirty, do we have permission to use that song on the Dusty Futon?
The artist gave me permission. Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
I always get permission off the rights owners.
Yeah.
You know, as a label, we don't own the rights to our artist stuff because there's no need for that to happen.
No.
So don't be fooled by labels who try and own the rights to your material. It doesn't need to happen. So
Wow, that's a really good insight for everybody to know.
Yeah.
And it's actually true. To me, it's a disturbing trend that I saw happen like 20, 30 years ago.
Oh,
and
it was happening
Yeah.
back in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
You know? How about all those artists that actually got ripped off and they're still fighting today in court right now, trying to get their music back? You know, family members are like, you guys have made millions off my dad's hits.
Watch Maroon 5's documentary about what they went through. Was it Maroon 5? I think it was Maroon 5.
I don't know. So many bands did.
Yeah, and there's a documentary that they even talk about in the documentary how their record label was trying to put a squash on their documentary because it was showing how horrible that there was, and it's all because of bureaucracy.
Oh yeah.
It's like the people involved with these lawsuits, like it's almost as if the record
well, there
label.
we go. Back to collusion. Remember, we were talking about colluding. So you have a bunch of lobbyists. They've met
even
so many different entertainment industry now is in sports industry. Sports industry is in now politics. I mean, it's just it goes everywhere. So the problem,
even within the company itself, is like you have a legal team, right? Well, all these giant firms now, these record labels, they have teams to handle different aspects that used to be handled by one or two people that you personally knew as the band. And so now you're like, you have a label that catches wind of you doing something that they don't like, and so the legal department automatically sends you a letter, right? And then they don't give a fuck about your band or who you are, how long you've been with the label. They don't care about any of that. All of a sudden, you're doing something they don't want, so they send you a letter, cease and desist, right? And if you, as the band who is attached to this label, you want to complain, you can't go right to the legal department and complain. You have to go to whoever your representative is within the company. And then you complain to them, and they don't care about you because they're getting paid just to talk to you, and that's it. And so they're like, oh, that's great. Yeah, I'll take it up with the guy above me. And then you never hear about it.
They never do.
And then you start bitching about it, and then they slap you with a lawsuit. And then they sue you to shut you up. And your own label is suing you to shut you up, and there's nothing you can do because there's nowhere to go because it's all within the house. And there are hundreds of artists that deal with this on a fucking daily basis because they don't know everything. They don't, but these labels are set up in such a way that
they sign that crappy agreement with that record company.
Yeah, because they're like, yeah, dude, I want to make millions of dollars. Let's go tour. And then all of a sudden they say, yeah, here's $100,000 to get everything you need to get the tour going, blah, blah, blah. By the way, you got to pay that back with 10% interest. It's in your contract. Don't forget about that.
It's called an advance.
Advance.
And then you got to pay every penny of it back. On top of that, a lot of times they'll throw interest in on that.
Just so everybody knows, Noise Cartel Records has been kind of the reverse of all that.
The antithesis.
Yeah, man. They have really helped a lot of artists. And you were just talking about that, Dirty. You were talking earlier about 4 number ones, and you guys didn't spend a dime.
And you didn't take their music.
Only because I was trying to prove a point.
Exactly.
Yep. I mean, we've charted over 80% of our releases, let alone the number ones. And that just goes I mean, there's formula involved. I mean, you have to be exposed everywhere.
Sure.
You have to put the work in. You got to connect as a family, as a group, and help each other out. You got to have some talented people, good people, like decent people, kind-hearted people.
Exactly.
who
I like
love
the
what
word
they're doing.
altruism, and that's the thing. When you have passion, altruism comes in handy naturally. Because if you have a passion about either repairing something or changing something or realigning the paradigm to the way it should be, you know, the tendency to do it just to do it comes out of that.
Oh yeah.
And there's not much passion in the world anymore because people are not working for passion. They're working for the dollar.
Yep.
They're working for the prestige. They're working for the title. They're working for...
Just so you audience listeners know, we're all passionate here. We're
Yes.
not getting a dime.
You can tell a passionate person if they don't shut up.
On that note, why don't we go ahead and close this out with another song, and we'll leave. Because guess what? It's Taco Tuesday, everybody, and I'm fucking starving. Let's go.
You know what? I'm hungry too. So.
On that note, this was the Dirty Futon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Dusty Futon featuring Dirty.
Oh yeah, and look, he made a corporate decision.
Oh, I see that. That's it. You're fired.
Take two.
Take two.
Well,
No,
it
there's
was
no such
kind of
thing.
like that. That's kind of where this episode was. You know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
So bye. We're done. Fuck this. I'm out.
All right, I'm out. Take care, you guys.
So thanks for joining us on the Dusty Futon. My name is Dirty Disciple. This is Big John.
Chelsea
That is-
Scott.
And we got some good music for you. Make sure you link up with Chelsea's studio.
Second
Follow
Story
him.
Studios.
Go to one of his shows. I
Yeah.
guarantee you won't be disappointed.
And don't
if you
forget
are,
to check out Noise Cartel Records because you guys, four
Oh, yeah.
number one hits.
Actually, no, they're fantastic. man.
Lots of music.
and,
Let's go have some tacos.
of
remember, your
tacos.
music assets are your biggest asset in your music career. So keep that shit under wraps. Don't give it away to anybody.
Now, and if you got questions, you can email us at admin@dustyfuton.com. We'll direct you to the right people. We've got Noise Cartel Records. We've got Second Studio City. Or
Second story.
Second Storios.
Storios. Oreos.
Second Story Studios. So we got tons of resources that we can happily help you out with questions. And
Yeah, any
obviously,
questions?
if you want to
Yeah.
be on the podcast,
We'll help you out.
shoot us an email with that,
Yeah.
and we'll get you hooked up, get you your own fucking episode.
Right
Support
on.
independent music.
Independent music.
Keep doing.
That's it. I'm hitting
doing
stop
it. I'm
now.
outta here.
I'm done.
All right. See you guys. Bye.
See you later.
Later.
Big thank you to Chelsea Scott of Second Story Studios for not only loading us the studio space to use, but for also being our guest here on the Dusty Futon. Also, big thank you to Dirty Disciple of Noise Cartel Records for being our host for this episode. I'm Big John, your co-host and engineer. Please don't forget to check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/thedustyfuton. You'll be able to get some exclusive audio bits that didn't make it into this episode that are going to leave you in stitches or possibly leave you in tears. We also have a new merch page right there on thedustyfuton.com/merch. Head on over there and support us directly by buying a t-shirt. If you're waiting around for the hashtag and you want to get your free t-shirt, make sure you share this episode link directly with the hashtag Dear Monday. Hashtag Dear Monday. Speaking of support, don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Follow us anywhere on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And please comment, like, and share anything that you can to help get the word out for what we do here at the Dusty Futon. Don't forget to check out Backstage360.com, one of our sponsors. I hope you enjoyed this production of the Dusty Futon LLC. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next episode.